Hello and welcome to Intro to Design, Video 3. This is Tyler with 3D Printersaur, and today we're going to go over a couple more features when it comes to designing. We're going to go through Sweep, Emboss, and Draft. So to start off with, we're going to make a sketch on the XY plane and make a rectangle. So the neat thing about a rectangle is you can see two dimensions there. If I enter in 3, tab, 4, enter, it'll automatically dimension without using the dimension feature. Just a way of cutting some time. Next, we're going to center this about the model. And once we're done, we're going to finish sketch. This is the first component for a sweep, and this is what's called the profile. And next, we're going to make the path on the YZ plane. We're going to make it very simple. We're going to do something that's 12 inches long. I could add other lines and radiuses to give it a more interesting and intricate feature, but we're just going to keep it very basic. Now we can do the sweep. It'll automatically find everything that it needs for profile and path. And now we can start playing with some of the features. So these 3 grayed out boxes would be used if you had it going into another model. So it would add material, cut away, or kind of do a combination thereof. There's the path feature, and then there's the parallel for orientation. Parallel means it's going to stay parallel with the line no matter where it goes. If it's angled, anything like that. Path kind of goes with it the whole way through, so it's more perpendicular. The nice thing with the path is you can change this to have something that's a little bit more intricate. If I click OK, you can see I just made something that could potentially start off as a really cool vase. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to go back and edit feature. And now we're going to change the taper to 0 and the twist to 90. And now you can see we have something. And if you follow this corner, it'll rotate 90 degrees. So it'll always go to whatever angle you want at the end of it. Next, we're going to do a feature for Emboss. The nice thing with Emboss is it actually allows you to do font. So first we're going to enter in some text, and next we're going to make it bold and a little bit bigger, and make it center and centered. Now we're going to center this about the center point of the model, and then we're going to be ready to emboss. So it's going to ask for a profile, and I'm going to highlight the font to start off with. Next, you're going to have 3 features here and a depth. So the depth is how far it's going to be going for distance. And you have the emboss is the first one. If we click OK, it basically extrudes your font away from the surface. If I right click and edit feature and do the next one, which is called engrave, it'll cut into the model. And then the third one we actually have to make a plane with. We covered that in video 2 if you need a refresher. So I'm going to make this 2 3/4 away from the model. I'm going to make a sketch on this plane. And one thing to note when it comes to making fonts, you might have to play with different fonts as some softwares just don't cooperate with certain fonts. But anyways, we're going to make a octagon. We're going to dimension it, and then we're just going to make it flat on one side. I'm not going to dimension it just for this case because I want to move it around to use it for a couple different things. So to start off with, we're going to do the last one, which is called Emboss Engrave from Plane. We're going to make sure that the arrow is pointing towards the model, and if I click OK, you can see that it's made it extruded right into the model on all contacting faces until it touches. If I go edit feature, I can change this to have a taper, let's say 10 degrees, and it tapers it out 10 degrees until it touches all surfaces. Another thing you can do is you can edit the feature, and we can do Emboss Engrave from these spots, and it'll only recognize one surface and only go the depth that you state. So if I edit the sketch and move this, you can see that it can make a nice feature in there for you. So it's just another way of using the Emboss feature. Now that we're done with this, let's say I don't want this to be showing up on the model, but I want to keep it in case I want to use it for reference later. You can take the end part, click it, and drag up. And then those two pieces will be below it, which hides it. So then it's not deleted, but it's still there if you need to go back. Next, we're going to just do another sketch about this plane. Extrude it 3 inches. And now you can see I just have a nice flat surface for a draft. So you're going to have to choose a pulling direction, and then you're going to have to use choose a face. You can choose multiple faces. I'm just going to choose one for this example, and then put in 15 degrees. And as you can see, it draft angles it down, but if I reverse the pull direction, it'll actually do it the opposite way. Or you can change this angle to have -15. Entirely up to you. And again, change it again. I would highly recommend playing with the different features in your software. Not all of them will have all these features, so I'm not going to go through them all. If you want to, please feel free to leave a comment and I can go through them in another video. But this is another way of just giving an angle to just one side of a model a little bit easier. And then one last thing as a little bonus is we're going to just do a thicken offset. Again, I'm not sure if all software has this, but you can choose multiple faces. And let's say we choose 1/2 inch. And now I just made it thicker, 1/2 inch all around, just on the one side. So this is really helpful if you want to modify things, but it might affect, if you went back and changed this extrusion, it might screw it up. It's a good way of just giving you extra thickness like that. See? So it's another way of doing some modifications without having to have too much changing with other features that you've done in the past. So those are just a couple more features for designing, for 3D printing. If you have any questions on some other things you want to learn, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, this is Tyler with 3D Printersaur, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.